First AI Mahabharat is out.
Yeah.
The guy who's the modern day BR Chopra.
Oh my God. Oh my God. No. It came from an absolute core place of seeing Game of Thrones and saying, why can't we have something of that production quality? And I've always had this weird sort of gap in my head that why is it that the land of folklore, the richest land of folklore, stories, mythology, history in the world,
Yeah.
does not have the share of voice that it rightfully deserves in the global content narrative. Mahabharat is the first of many such pieces that we're going to build. I had two underlying principles of the history works, of which Mahabharat is the first cut. I need to get the Gen Z and young millennials to fall in love with our culture as much as they do with a Thor or an Iron Man. Our war scenes will be beautiful. Hastinapur is beautiful. Costumes are immaculate. Kudos to my team at Gallery 5 who built the world.
Why do one thing when you can ace many? Why be the Jerry Maguire of Bollywood, sports and influencer agenting when you can do a BR Chopra as well? Vijay Subramaniam, the founder of Collective Artists Network, sees all that he does as building upon what first caught his attention: music. When his band Synapse was disbanded, he did not join another band. Instead, spotted an opportunity: the absence of agents who can identify new talent and help the existing one to find opportunities which can enable them to realize their potential. Now he runs Collective Artists Network and does exactly that. Building on it further, he has ventured into building IPs that can last. With a small team and a fraction of a typical movie's budget, enabled by AI, he has made a grand spectacle from scratch. Mahabharat Ek Dharam Yudh, which is now streaming on Jio Hotstar and has been getting rave reviews. The first of many such grand stories he wants to bring to life. So whether you are an influencer who wants more opportunities, or an aspiring actor or sports person, or someone interested in finding out how AI is disrupting content creation, join me, Abhishek Singh, for the ride. On this episode of Rolling with the Boss, I speak to Vijay Subramaniam about all those things and more.
Rolling with the Boss Season 2. Luxury partner Lexus.
Rolling?
Yes.
Perfect. So,
Yeah.
how should I, for the viewers, introduce you? The guy who opened for Iron Maiden, the guy who's the modern day BR Chopra.
Oh my God. Oh my God. No.
You decide.
It's a bit hard, yeah.
I mean, it's not. As far as Mahabharat is concerned, the only name that people talk about is, of course, BR Chopra, because the man was a visionary and started what he started, was a phenomena.
Yep.
Part of everybody who grew up during those decades, right? And now, yesterday, the chief minister, Fadnavis, talked about the fact that, first AI Mahabharat is out.
Yeah. Very, very thankful to Honorable Chief Minister for acknowledging and appreciating our efforts. But wow, no man, Mr. B.R. Chopra was a legend in what he did. How do you describe me in the best way possible?
See, I started with something which happened years ago, right? When you opened for Iron Maiden, we can, go back to school days or whatever. But right now, what everyone's talking about is, of course, the fact that Mahabharat's out. And I saw the promo, of course.
What do you feel?
Excellent. I mean, bringing those stories alive. I mean, imagine someone trying to actually do what B.R. Chopra did. Would have cost probably like 1,000 or a couple of thousand crores to make it possible. And those stories are important. They need to be told.
Yeah.
So you're telling them.
Yeah, I feel for me it was very simple. So because you got to the origins.
Yeah.
I'm a son of a retired army officer.
Yeah.
So the construct of nation and India has always been extremely close to me. And I've always had this weird sort of gap in my head that why is it that the land of folklore, the richest land of folklore, stories, mythology, history in the world, does not have the share of voice that it rightfully deserves in the global content narrative. And I realized a lot of it came from a point of view of, people, just the cost models and the way the industry cost models and cost structures work. So if you ask me, Mahabharat is the first of many such pieces that we're going to win, that we're going to build. And we're going to build it with a glorious historic past, married with the technological prowess of what the world is yet to see. We recently even announced a partnership with Microsoft, right, for helping us build, better computing infrastructure to sort of say these stories in a more grandiose and scalable way. But I think going back to the even more fun stuff, retired army officer's son, born and brought up in Bangalore. Born in Chandigarh, spent a lot of my growing up years in Bangalore.
And you were born when Operation Blue Star was going on, right?
Absolutely. My mom gave birth to me when Chandigarh was in curfew.
Right.
So hence my name Vijay.
Right.
I was born victorious. So that happened, and grew up in Bangalore. Very much relate myself to being a Bangalore boy.
Bangalore is just where you work.
Bangalore's home. Let me put it this way: Bangalore's home. Although I've spent more of my living years now, from a ratio point of view, probably more percentage in Bombay versus Bangalore. But I just feel, I think my days in the band really gave me a really strong connect to the city. We were the land of rock and roll. We were the land of heavy metal. That's my roots. That's my origin. We were the land of, literally everything cool that happened in India in the late 90s and the 2000s, between 2000 to 2010, I think happened in Bangalore.
So many people in Bombay, so many people in Delhi are going to take offense.
The sad part about it is they can, because Delhi and Bombay, and I'm telling you because I played in a rock band, right?
Yeah.
I'm going off script for a minute.
Yeah.
Synapse,
right?
Synapse. Yeah. Bangalore never really had a management infrastructure. RSJ was based in Delhi. Bombay had, only much louder and a couple of these large management firms that used to represent banks, and Bangalore was left all to itself. And I would hate it that Delhi and Bombay bands would come and headline in Bangalore colleges, but Delhi and Bombay colleges would not invite Bangalore bands to come and headline in their colleges. So
you're so right. I mean, I was in North Campus, right? Delhi University. I don't think I've heard a Bombay band play in North Campus in those days, at least.
So now that life has brought you to a place where you can afford to make a claim, I'm very proud of the fact that I'm a proud Bangalorean at some levels. And I think the Delhi and Bombay band scene, especially in metal, sucked compared to the Bangalore band scene. So if you guys are sitting and watching it and you're metalheads in Delhi and Bombay, boo-hoo to you.
Now, that brings me to that, that one thing which happened, which for a lot of people would be perhaps, highlight of their lives, right? I mean, you've had a few, and we will talk about all of those as well. And that was, of course, when you opened for Iron Maiden, right? How did that happen?
So we won Campus Rock Idols, which is a property organized by DNA. Venkat Vardhan sir was the promoter of DNA.
Yeah.
We won CRI. We then headlined CRI, Campus Rock Idols.
Yeah.
And then from that lineup, came the Iron Maiden opportunity. And when it came about, we couldn't, I still have to look back in time and say I actually did that, because there are some things that are just written, and
you're at the right place at the right
you
time.
Just feel that what would it be like, to play in front of Bruce Dickinson and Steve Harris and Nico McBride, right? All your favorites that you've idolized, man. I mean, let's face it, I'm a heavy metal head. For me, Metallica, Iron Maiden, Slayer, these are bands that I idolize. So for me to actually be backstage with them, seeing them sip their beer, and me being there, having my little iced tea because I don't drink, was a moment. And I think I would still put it right up there in the top 5 days of my life.
Right. And there have been plenty of others as well. Growing up as an army brat, and perhaps not brat. I mean, you probably...
No brat at all. Not a very good kid.
Very good kid.
Yeah, very good kid.
Right.
So then how does a good kid who did what good kids back in those days did, which was study engineering or medicine,
Which I did.
which you did,
Yeah.
but then you chose not to become an engineer?
Man, I sucked at it. I couldn't fit a tire in a car when I was a mechanical engineer, right?
But that's not what a mechanical engineer is supposed to do.
A mechanical engineer is supposed to know something about fluid dynamics, or
Right.
mass transfer,
Yeah.
machine design. I still wake up in the night with a cold sweat on. I have HMT, this heat and mass transfer for the energy.
Yeah.
And I realized midway through, यार ये नहीं होगा. नहीं ये तो पढ़ाई लिखाई. I think I was good. I never failed. I was a first class holder. I wasn't any genius or anything special in my academics. But I think the band gave me that experience to really realize that what I really feel passionately about is going out to the world and being out there.
Yeah.
As opposed to being inside a lab or inside a research facility or behind a computer. And I think for me, the army gave me a rich upbringing of what it means to establish social constructs which are not defined by the traditional definitions of family. And I think I've carried that to the way I run Collective even till today. And I think that's the DNA I brought into the band as well, where I think the richest thing that the army tells you there is everyone is in that place because they made a choice.
Right.
And their choice was to serve. They weren't, I mean, your brother-in-law would tell you this as well. It's not the highest paying job in the world.
Yeah.
It could be ridiculously thankless. In most people's careers, it is almost life-taking.
Yeah.
So no right person in their right frame of mind outside of a motive of serving a purpose, in this case the purpose being a country, should take that job. Right. So I think that's what the army taught me really early on. In fact, it's very strange, Dad sent out the Mahabharat episode to his course mates and batchmates. And he's been forwarding me messages for the last couple of days about their reaction. They used to call me Vijay, Chinna, because I was the youngest in the regiment.
Right.
Tell Chinna we're very happy, proud of him. These are uncles who I've known for, 35 years now.
Right.
And I feel what the army did to me was that. And then when the band started, I found my purpose. And my purpose was to build something with people in the field of entertainment. And when the band broke up, what the army also teaches you is this ridiculously ideal of loyalty. So for me, it was very clear, once the band broke up, I won't play with anyone else. But
you still play sometimes.
I play for myself. I don't necessarily play for a band or anything like that. It's too much work. It's too much emotional investment. So I think the band broke up, and that's when I realized that, getting hired by some IT company or in 3 truckloads of mechanical engineering batches and being shipped away to Mysore for a steady salary was not for me.
Right.
So I picked this up. I said, I think I was the only guy in my batch who didn't sit for a single campus interview.
Right.
And I thought, people were saying, you're mad, at least sit for one, get the experience. I was like, why? I have a firm belief in let's just रास्ते जाना नहीं.
उधर गुजरना ही
उधर ही क्यों करना? तो मेरे को जिंदगी में कभी, people keep asking me कि यार try alcohol. मैंने कहा जिंदगी में कभी दारू पिया नहीं है, पीना है नहीं, वो इच्छा ही नहीं है, in that sense. So I think that's how the journey of Mahabharat holdings. Lovely.
Yeah.
There we are. Oh, nice. Juhu.
But that's interesting because that's how you get sucked in. That's how the world convinces you. Yeah. That's how the world convinces you. I mean, you try this. Do it for a while. And then you know what happens. I mean, once you get used to that steady salary, I mean, that's like a drug, right? Like, every month, no matter what you do, just keep doing the bare minimum, you'll keep getting that salary. Yeah. So you refuse that.
I refused that. I joined Mahesh's company, Global Sport.
Mahesh, at that point in time, when he was starting Global Sport, rented, one of the floors.
In my house.
Yeah, so you were the landlord for Mahesh Gupri, right?
And so Mahesh is a big brother. He and I talk ever so frequently.
Yeah.
And I can't thank him enough for the opportunity and the, and the launch pad that he gave us. And, and then wanted to break out into the entrepreneurial zone, started off the company, and it was Quan at the time. Had a very, very different vision for dovetailing it into beyond just talent management, then went on to start Collective. But yeah, I think going back, I think a lot of my life lessons have come from days in cantonment in Shillong, in Delhi. And I think the way I've seen my home, which is, the army is beautifully one of those places where you choose your family.
Yeah.
You choose who you want to dine with. When youngsters used to come in and tell my mom, "Ma'am, khana banao." At 12:30 in the night, "Ma'am, butter chicken khana hai." There was a certain demand of ownness there.
Yeah.
Right? Which you would only take the liberty with your sister or mother.
Yeah.
And I would see, I remember all those uncles. My mother recently passed on the 6th of April. And,
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, and some of those uncles were there. In fact, one of the uncle, General Ved Prakash, was with us in the ambulance when we were taking her to her final journey. And I remember Ved uncle was there, and he said, he looked at her, and and we had a moment, because I just feel that just defines you. That's what I feel at Collective, that these are people that you have taken.
You don't mean General VP Malik, do you?
No, Ved Prakash.
Okay, Ved Prakash, okay. Somebody wonderful, somebody's really
Somebody's really pissed, yeah.
We must have done something wrong. Let's just assume that and move on. Yeah.
So, for me, it was very clear that I had to, that feeling of oneness, that feeling of family by choice, not family by birth, was very hardwired in me from the get-go. And, and I think I've lived life on that principle ever since.
Right. No, I mean, that's wonderful, because, there was the trodden path, there was a pre-decided path for kids born in those years. I mean, it was decided, right? I mean, engineer, doctor, whatever. And in the early 2000s, deciding that, okay, that's not for me. Not just deciding, doing something else, but making something big out of it, which is not just big for yourself. I mean, it's easy. I wouldn't say easy. It's fairly difficult to make money for yourself, but to also do, exactly what you want to do and make money for a lot of people as well.
I think money comes.
Yeah.
I think, there's a huge thing about, don't chase the money, it'll come to you, and the classic Three Idiots dialogue, success par nahi, excellence ke piche bhagao. I think money comes, but I think fundamentally, I keep telling people that for me, my biggest blessing is that I can't wait for a Monday. I think the day you're in a life where Monday feels like a Monday, I can't live that life.
Right.
I can't wait to get to work. I can't wait to breathe life into this baby we built. So if you ask me, if you throw so much passion at something, and I think music taught me that, right? Studied Metallica, studied Iron Maiden, studied Slipknot, Korn, System of a Down, every big heavy metal band, read about them, Pearl Jam.
Right.
And what the only thing it taught me was, if the purpose is greater than self, everything else tends to work out. The money tends to work out. The fame tends to work out. The social... I think all of us do things in life for only three things. Social validation, emotional validation, and financial validation.
Right.
I think I've chased the emotional validation of it first. Because if I'm emotionally feeling good about whatever I'm doing, it'll eventually lead to social relevance and hopefully some wealth. And even wealth, I have a very clear philosophy that wealth is not yours alone. Right? I am one of those who believes in genuinely sharing. I think we're the first few companies in our industry who started an ESOP scheme, who gave, some management, who gave management equity and things like that. So I just feel that for me, just waking up every morning, यार सोना है क्योंकि कल सुबह उठ के काम करना है, that's the, और फिर काम नहीं होता, like people keep asking me, यार you're a workaholic, and I tell them that for a minute, imagine you're Lars Ulrich in Metallica when you're touring 300 days. Is that working?
Yeah. I mean,
I don't think it's working.
And I completely agree with you. I mean, in my case, people say, and see, for a journalist, whether you're sleeping, whether you're up, whether you're working, you're not working, you are working. The reason you're working is because if you're not keeping yourself updated, if you're not talking to people, if you're not staying in touch with your sources, you wouldn't be able to do your job in those 8 hours, right? So what work isn't done in those 8 hours, that is when perhaps, something is put together for people to see what you've been doing for the other 16 hours, which includes everything else as well.
Yeah.
Right? So you have to be, and the money's not great, right? It's not like you're making like $1 million, right? You're not. So if you don't like your job, don't love your job, completely agree with that. Yeah, talking about the evolution of this side of things, this particular industry. So from the days of Percept, when you were talking about, because sports management is perhaps, I would say, what it started with. Of course, celebrity management was already there. Used to happen in very informal manner, perhaps, for somebody close to the family, making arrangements, deciding schedules, etc. Percept, perhaps, how it started changing, but then where are we now? What's happening now?
I think even before Percept. So
Okay.
my Bangalore house, we share a parapet, a wall with Mr. Mark Mascarena's family.
Right.
Mark was the godfather of agenting.
Right.
World Tel.
That's Sachin deal, right?
Sachin deal.
Yeah.
Right. I remember we lost Mark.
How much was that? 100 crores back then, right?
Yeah,
Some crazy amount of money back in the days, yeah.
I remember when Mark died due to a car accident. He has a huge backyard, and in that backyard, everyone came. Ravi Shastri, Ajay Tendulkar, all of these guys, right? And I put my window up, and me and my mom was sitting and watching all of them.
Right.
So Mark actually started it, and then of course Sharendra and Harindra did what they did by building Percept beautifully well. But I think where it breaks is, and this is the point of view we brought into the industry, is if you are sitting in your office and taking phone calls, which are incoming, and just being a coordinator, you're not really an agent. You're more of a personal secretary.
Right.
I think if you see Jerry Maguire, that really is the best definition of what an agent should do. Right? To anybody on your show who's interested in this line of work, I would recommend this book called Ovitz. Right? Ovitz.
Okay.
Or Who is Michael Ovitz? That's another book.
Okay.
I think Michael Ovitz was the godfather of agenting. Okay. Globally, he started CAA in 1975. And one of the best things about agenting is if you don't dream a dream for your talent, which occasionally could even surpass their dream for themselves, right? Then you're not an agent.
So basically, somebody who couldn't spot not just a talent, but the potential in that talent, and then help that talent realize that potential.
You have to think 10 years out. I don't think agenting, and luckily for me, I don't work with many clients. I just work with 2 or 3 of them. Luckily for me, I've always taken a view that, for me, it's very clear that I build out careers over a 10-15 year span. And those are the people I work with.
Of course, you can't name them, and that's absolutely all right. But let's say and I am not even going to talk about a particular sector, not going to say Bollywood, not going to say sports, not going to say something else, some other industry. But let's say if you were to pick, let's say this is the person I'm going to work for, be an agent for next 10 years, 15 years, as you were saying, right? What would you see in that person? What would you try and spot?
Number one thing would be, what's the appetite? How insatiable are you? See, because I am a hungry dog, right? I'm tireless. I'll keep going. So if I see in you the real desire to succeed, right? In whatever form, you could want to be the best actor, you could want to be the best megastar, you could want to be the best, you could want to be Ryan Reynolds, who's everything, right? What is that one enduring quality that makes you not stand out because of only your craft? Because a lot of people are talented. Craft, I think ability in creative fields is overrated. It's as important as owning it, and more importantly, setting infrastructure around it that can make it move, right?
Okay.
I mean, there'll be so many talented singers in the country, right? You and I don't know of.
Right.
So for me, the one thing I look forward to is the will to be insatiable, right? For the lack of a better word, can you Steve Jobs yourself?
Right.
Can you immortalize yourself at least 2 generations out?
Hmm.
You won't be able to 10 generations out, but at least 2-3 generations out. And I think that's a great way of building a career.
Right.
I mean, you remember Raj Kapoor till today,
Yeah.
right? You remember Dilip. I mean, this will be the last generation that may remember a Dilip Kumar, for example, right? But you'll remember Sachin Tendulkar 3 generations out.
Yeah.
Right. You'll remember Shah Rukh Khan.
I think you should update that because what's happening now is that the shelf life of, for example, like you said, Raj Kapoor. Yes, in this generation, people still remember all of that, but gradually, slowly, that time span for everything, just like everything. I mean, we consume media. I mean, it's 30-second clip, much better versus like a 3-hour long podcast. There are plenty of people who would listen to a 3-hour long podcast, but that's also that shelf life is decreasing gradually, eventually, slowly. Would you agree?
Oh, it's not decreasing. It's exponentially shrunk.
Right.
I wouldn't say, and I would actually say I have this way of putting it. The big will become bigger, the middle will become small, and the small will disappear.
Right.
So if you are a middling actor, hypothetically, you will become a small actor. If you are a big actor, you will become a bigger actor.
Right.
Right. So like I'll take one name because it's easy to for me. Say for example, someone like a Deepika. I think Deepika is now evergreen, right? She's become bigger and bigger as she's growing, as time is going by, right? And I think her stardom is becoming bigger, her reach is becoming bigger, and I think that's a direct result of once you build that connect with the audience where you are unforgettable for an era. It's very difficult to take that off. Yeah.
That said, now let's go back a little bit to some of the things which made Vijay the man that he is, and the philosophies that he has.
Oh my God!
And the perspective with which you look at things. Right? I was when I was reading up on you, you mentioned very specifically, I met my first girlfriend, and talk to us about that part of your life, and then we'll come to kids and we'll talk about some of the other personal things.
So
you met her in school,
college. Tried to keep it. I've tried to keep life very simple on the personal things, not complicate things.
Right.
So actually, it's not just related to my wife. I think it's how I treat even my friendships.
Yeah, loyalty.
One time in, you have to do something really off for me to leave you. I am not one who gives up easily on a relationship. So I think for me, whether it's my family, whether it's my brother, whether it's my kids, a few people I consider family who don't share my surname or whose surname I don't share, but for me they're family. I just feel it's extremely important for you to have certain fundamental principles of that, right? And for me, the same thing. So I usually tend to stick on to one thing. I've done one thing all my professional life, and I usually tend to keep building on it. I played for one band.
And there wasn't a band after that.
There wasn't a band after that. I run this company. I don't think I'll run another company, right? Because
you don't need to. I mean, you've just been growing.
Yeah, more than that, I think and that's why it goes back to saying, right? If you have a purpose in mind, growth should technically happen. I don't see any reason why growth should not.
Right.
But I feel for me, fundamentally, I tend to hold on to things that matter to me much more. And I think that's where even in matrimony or in love or in friendships, I'm an all in or nothing kind of guy.
Yeah.
So either I'm completely in with it, or you don't have me at all. And I think, and it really has to take a lot for me to walk out of something.
Yeah, frankly, that's the only sane way to be.
I hope so.
So, of course, you marry your college sweetheart.
Yeah.
And then 2 kids. So 12 and 9. What's like, now you're a practice man. I mean, you've been a father for a while. But it is also around the time when they're, about to enter teenage, right? Daughter's 12.
Daughter's 12. She's the She's now, I don't know, she's my daughter. She's become my mother. I'm trying to figure that out.
Right.
I think today kids grow up so much faster. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the other day I'm sitting and she's having some scuffle in school with some of her friends. And I said, I just joke around and tell her, I said, Swara, should I come in and sort it? She said, Appa, I can handle my own battles.
Oh my God.
I don't need you to come in and solve it for me. I said, okay, just checking in. And the other day, she calls me and said, Nita is a cook. And she says, Nita auntie is coming. She has to make dinner and leave by 7:30. You have to tell me now what do you want to eat. I'm like, okay, this shit is moving a little too fast. But I think daughters are daughters.
Yeah.
They are where they're at. My son is absolutely mast magan. He's an ace cricketer, ace sportsman. And he's just a chiller. He's a baller. A very, very intense and energetic guy. Very disciplined. Does no cheating, doesn't have sugar because he's into sports. And he's 9 years old. You can.
Yeah.
And, says no to me for ice cream. I'm like, eat it. I'm telling you. He's like, no, Appa, I have a game tomorrow. I said, oh, wow.
Wow. Have you shown them? I'm sure they must have at least seen the promo. Have you?
Yeah, they're seeing it.
They're
seeing it on their flight back from Dubai now. And they're very proud of me. My daughter had this huge conversation with me around the pros and cons of AI. I'm like, I'm not you. The world is talking to me about not you. And then I rationally had to explain what we were doing. She said, okay, now it's making sense.
Right.
But, that is very interesting. Yeah, but she watched Greater Kalesh from TTT, which released on Netflix a couple of weeks ago. They're watching Mahabharat together. I think it's come out beautifully. And I think they will watch it and I'll get a verdict when they land this evening.
Right. They're coming this evening?
They're coming this evening. And I'll get my truest critics are going to come back with a yay or a nay by the end of the day today.
Now, since we've started talking about Mahabharat once again, it's a story which you would want to do justice to, because if you don't, the backlash could be massive, immense. And I'm sure you were not thinking about that. You were trying to build the best that you can. How did you do it?
I won, at times redeeming, but at times suicidal characteristic. I am foolishly optimistic as a human being. So I don't start something with what if. Right. I started. So I think it's very simple. There are two tenets of Mahabharat. It came from an absolute core place of seeing Game of Thrones and saying, why can't we have something of that production quality, which doesn't need, because I'll never get $100 million to make it.
Yeah.
That market doesn't exist in this country, right? I think I knew I won't have $100 million to make it. And I had two underlying principles of the history works, of which Mahabharat is the first cut. I need to get the Gen Z and young millennials to fall in love with our culture as much as they do with a Thor or an Iron Man or a Tony or an Avenger. Why? Because I believe that Hanuman's Gada is stronger than Thor's hammer. I believe that Hanuman can kick Superman. But I don't think my niece, nephew, or kids know it. Right. And I want them to know it.
Yeah.
But if I say it to them in a format that's not palatable to them, then they're not going to accept it.
Of course. Yeah.
So how do you maintain the divinity of our texts and don't mess with anything in the story? Hence, if you see our Mahabharata, it very, very clearly says, as written in the works of Mr. Vedyas.
Yeah.
Right?
Starts with Yada Yada Idhar
Starts with that. But the visual treatment is that where technology has been able to enable, has been able to help us enable the largest spectacle possible. So our war scenes will be beautiful, or Hastinapur is beautiful, or, chariots are lovely, and, costumes are immaculate, and, jewelry feels like it's real gold, And I think kudos to my team at Gallery 5 who built the world. The engineering quality at the cost optimization that they've been able to achieve has helped us say the story. And so Mahabharat is now, 2nd April, we come out with a theatrical release of Hanuman. Then we have Krishna. Then we have Shiva. Then we're producing 3 more series. And for me, the idea is to build this entire universe in a way that is not just the movie.
Yeah.
So you will have merchandising, you will have toys, you'll have the entire works around it.
Right.
I even intend to get the characters out of the show and do something with them.
Much like a Marvel.
Much
would
like a
do
Marvel
some, yeah.
would, right?
Questions there. So how much time did it take? From
6 months.
6 months. Okay. And if you can give us a ballpark, like how much money does it cost to produce something like this?
See, now you're asking me about my secret sauce. You're
I'm not.
telling me.
So you give me what you tell me what you can.
It'll be 100th if I had to make it all of a feasible.
Right. That's cool.
I'm saying, matlab, it is so ridiculously downstreamed on cost.
Yeah.
That it is ridiculous to think that you'll make it again. You'll make it in any other way.
Right. Yeah. Now, one important question related to the industry, something which is gonna, impact a lot of what you're doing. What would you say? I mean, now that you're one of the front runners as far as this industry is concerned, and see, AI in videos is a bit of a concern, depending on the kind of videos that you're talking about. For example, I mean, something scandalous about somebody which is, AI generated, AI created, of course, is going to create a lot of problems. And so that's one side of things. And the other side of things is that it is an industry which is going to employ thousands and thousands and thousands of people, going to generate billions of dollars with an investment of 10 crore rupees perhaps. You can get a product which is worth 1,000 crore, in terms of outcome. So it is an important industry. And at the end of the day, I mean, all things are moving in the AI direction, no matter which industry you look at, right? So what would be your expectations from the bill? What would you like the government to sort of focus on while making this?
I think if the honorable government is looking at this technology to blossom,
mm-hmm.
I feel then we should go in with absolute confidence of making the tech. Listen, man, it's not very different, and I've said this time and time again. Computing disrupted typewriters.
Yeah.
iPhone disrupted Kodak and Canon. Uber's disrupted Kali Pili. Quick commerce definitely has disrupted kirana stores. Automobiles and internal combustion engine disrupted chariots and horse riders. OTT gave rise to new careers. So technological advancements cannot be stopped unless the authorities or the governing bodies or the powers that be say so.
Right.
So the way I see it is, I have a fundamental issue that media business, and here in the media business, fundamentally media businesses are shallow in stock and valuation matrices. Why can't there be a $50-60 billion company coming out of the media business? It's purely because if you look at it from an India point of view, the cost of creating content versus the depth in monetization of the content at times doesn't stack up. What does this mean? You need to make content faster. You need to make content cheaper. And you need to make content better.
Right.
The only way of validating all these three hypotheses is by using technology as a friend and not a foe. Which means develop, like for example, a lot of people on this pro and anti-AI debate put out a post 2 days ago. Mahabharat have employed 100 people. Right? A first-time director who from Whistling Woods who would have taken 10 years to direct this on primetime television. A first-time editor. A first-time music director. A bunch of researchers. A young writer's room. About 50 engineers. So have I given jobs or have I taken jobs?
Right.
And they've worked on IP which is open source, which is public information. There's no copyright infringement on owning Mahabharat. It is India's story. So for me, I think the way I'm starting with this is by making public stories which are accessible to all.
Right.
I want to first prove that, like animation was, this is a new medium.
Sure.
It's not the matter that matters, it's the medium. The matter will again go back to nobody can take away the quality of writing. Nobody can take away the quality of editing. I don't think there's an edit tool today that can give you a 2-minute cut of a scene with that degree of efficacy. Yes. What has it done? It's allowed Lavanya to dream
Lavanya is the director of
Yeah.
Mahabharat, yes.
She could imagine Hastinapur a certain way. If she wanted 1,000 soldiers on the Kurukshetra war, she can.
She can.
Right? You're giving them tools. So if you ask me, what does it mean? I think there's unnecessary, over-the-top scrutiny behind.
Now that we are, pretty close to your office, maybe 15 minutes from here, let's just, for 5 minutes, talk about some of the fun things in life. Music, of course, it is that one thing for you which helps you.
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah. And how much have your kids, taken interest in music and your drumming and your, the things that you do at home?
Complete adoption.
Uh-huh.
Swara is a little pianist.
See.
Vidur also plays the piano. My son is a little bit of a flair guy. He tends to pick up most things he touches.
Uh-huh.
So they're both... In fact, luckily for me as a father, music has been one of the things I have connected most deeply with them on.
Right.
So it's building Legos
Yeah.
and music. So they listen to some really good music. They listen to good quality. So they know some Metallica stuff. Shwara does know her Taylor Swift stuff also.
Right.
But they know it all, right?
You know your Taylor Swift?
Not at all. I'm not a Swiftie by a mile, bro. I'm one of those guys who is I'm on either ends of both spectrums. Either it is acute Bollywood,
Yeah.
which is like hero number one types,
Yeah.
or it's heavy metal. Ye beach ka, glam rock, Taylor Swift, pop.
Yeah.
No,
Well, I'm sure those conversations at home are fun, where you're trying to explain to her why you don't know her songs, but well, every time she's in the car with you,
I have to listen to
Taylor Swift.
I keep saying fireworks, but then she keeps correcting me. That's Katy Perry and not
Not
Taylor
Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
I mean, that much even I know. And my Taylor Swift is not good. My Katy Perry is not good.
There you go.
Right. Okay. And as far as sports are concerned, I think you were telling me that paddle is what you have picked up.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's just one of those, it's the most beautiful excuse of a workout.
Mm-hmm.
It's really not there,
Yeah.
but it's enough for you to say it's there.
Right.
It's like that indulgent snack,
Yeah.
which you're saying has like jaggery instead of sugar. So
I mean, I see the appeal. I see the
love
appeal.
it. I go, I sweat. I think it's also ridiculously social. I think it's great to make a plan and great to hang with friends.
Yeah.
And I don't like pickle though. I don't see the point in pickleball.
I've recently picked up PT, and I could never pick it up in school for some reason. I played literally every single sport out there till the age of, I think, 17, 18. I had this notion that cricket's what I'm going to play. Cricket's what I'm going to do with my life. But that's the story of, most 90s.
Cricket fades away the moment you realize Indian team में खेलने के लिए इतना लंबा कौन wait करे. If you don't have that passion for it, then I love paddle. Try it. And now apparently codes are germinating everywhere.
Yeah, man.
So you might as well play.
Paddle, pickle, even in malls.
Pickle I can't understand. I can't understand when a ball is that, how do you call it a sport? It's just not possible.
Yeah. See, whatever I'll say, all pickle people will hate me for it. I mean, I actually don't. I'm like, it is a sport for people who have never played any sport, can't play any sport, something like that.
It's an old person and a rich man sport.
Yeah.
It's not, rather, it's like going bowling.
Yeah. It's like somebody, you're right.
Yeah,
right. I'm calling
it's like going bowling and saying you're playing sports. You're not really playing sports.
It's been such a fun conversation. We talked about all sorts of things, serious stuff. Your story, of course, in itself, personal story, personal journey has been very interesting.
Thank you.
And like I said, I was initially confused. I mean, how should I introduce you? But then we
found a way.
Yeah, we found a way. I mean, I let you do it. But
I'm always a talker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was wonderful talking to you.
Thank you so much, brother.
Thank you so much.
So much.
Rolling with the Boss Season 2. Luxury partner Lexus.